Welcome to the Travelman Podcast. I'm your host, Ben, and if you're joining me for the first time, then I say a huge thank you to you, and if you're a returning listener, then I say thanks for listening. On today's awesome episode, which is part one of a two-part special, I'll be chatting to Shawn and Joe, who host the Dark Side of Seoul podcast and also run the Korean tour company ZenKimchi Tours. We'll be chatting about Patient 31, who was a super spreader of COVID-19 in Deju, Korea. We'll also discuss what happened to Kim Jong Un and talk about the Raincoat Killer who tormented the streets of Seoul. We'll also find out how Seoul is fighting back against the coronavirus, so sit back and enjoy part one of the podcast. Also, there's a language warning on this episode. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming back on the podcast as a twosome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for asking us on.
Thank you.
That's right. You guys knew you were going to be coming back on.
Yeah, eventually. I guess when was the last time?
We're on.
Yeah. When was the last time? Joe, you were on more recently, Joe?
Yeah. I don't remember when.
Mm-hmm. That was like
3-4 months ago.
Everything's a blur.
That was about a year ago,
I think
guess.
Joe was about 3 or 4 months. Yeah, and you were over a year ago, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe around...
I think. I'm not sure.
It was during the time when we had the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter was running and funded, so it would have been probably March last year.
Yeah, that's probably about right. It probably would have been about March last year. And how is that Kickstarter going?
It did.
Oh, well, the Kickstarter is finished, the Kickstarter itself, but do you mean the comic?
Yeah. I just mean the comic, yeah.
Yeah, the project. No, it's coming along.
Project, yeah.
Yeah, we're behind. Some things have come up that have put us behind schedule, but yeah, it's moving along. The art, like my script is done. I finished writing it. My editor, Mark Pritchard, he's in Calgary. He, did my script. He did all the editing and stuff.
Yeah.
And now the artist Tim Bauer is working on the pages, and he's doing the pencils, the inks, and the lettering, and he's doing the cover. So quite a bit of work.
Okay.
But yeah, moving along.
Your microphone just sounded really crazy just then, Shawn.
Sean's having you're having mic issues again.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, you're back.
Okay.
You're back now, and I'm going to keep that. You're for fuck's sake. This is now an R-rated version of the podcast. But how's the weather going anyway,
I can't take
boys?
you outside anymore.
Yes, you can. Why not?
Okay.
Oh, because of COVID.
Do I sound okay? Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's been happening the last couple times I've used my mic. I don't know why it's brand new. I hope.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely now I think it's a computer issue.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Could be.
Yeah. Because my computer.
Maybe you just need to upgrade the computer.
Yeah, it's a second-hand computer. It was just given to me.
Oh.
Apparently, it's not that old, but it's a piece of crap. So I think I'm just gonna.
Because it's a brand new mic he has, and it's a good quality mic, and it's cutting out.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, you got an old computer with a new mic. They don't like each other. They never have. They never will.
Yeah, I got to just drop $500. I guess that's how much desktops cost, right? These days, $500 for a decent desktop. Do you think?
Yep.
Yeah, he's totally.
I think he's doing it again.
He's digitizing. Yeah.
He's digitizing. He's becoming a robot.
Well, I don't know what to do.
So, Joe.
Do you have other programs running at the same time?
No programs. No, I just
anything might be taking up your RAM.
Had the nope. Just
all I do today. I woke up. My wife woke me up this morning to do tech support.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a dream, and I had to fix my daughter's tablet before her tutor came over.
Oh, God.
And they were she'd get me up because I was supposed to drive them down to the service center to get it fixed, and I was like, why don't we just do a hard reboot? Because it was frozen. It had been frozen for 12 hours.
Whoa!
And I did a hard reboot, and it was working. And what I thought was the problem is my daughter had recorded a bunch of videos and just maxed out the entire thing.
Awesome. She's going to become a YouTuber.
That's all I do, though, is tech support in this household. I'm always fixing things.
See, it's weird because when I'm running, because I use my mic for work these days because we don't have tours and whatnot. So I'm teaching English online. Never have any problems with it. When we start recording, it's happened a couple times now. Although no, Joe, I guess first time it really happened was last Friday when we had that hangout with our patrons, the top tier patrons. That was the first time it happened, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I have no idea.
This is exciting talk.
No, I'm riveted. I'm riveted.
Yeah. Is the show happening now?
Yeah, it's happening.
Oh,
it's just the
God,
longest.
Everyone's turned it off by now.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, it's the magic of the internet. I can just delete a bunch of shit. Or I cut a bunch of stuff and put it right at the end as like bloopers and stuff, which I generally do anyway after my outro music, but I don't think anyone ever listens to any of that stuff.
If they don't know it's there. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring this boat back into port, into harbor. That's probably not a thing that anyone ever says. But so, boys, you both work for ZenKimchi Tour Company. Is that right? Food tours. Let's just say ZenKimchi. Obviously, I want to know how the business is going.
It's like everyone stopped.
Yeah.
In fact, we've used this opportunity to start having weekly meetings with other tour operators in Seoul, and I'm the only one who's had a tour this whole time.
Wow. But who's on the tour? Is it other Koreans or
no? Just expats, English teachers that are already here and they're looking for stuff to do, and they've already gone through the quarantine. Or they don't need to go through the quarantine because they're already here
and they live here. Yeah.
Okay, so things have been lifted in Korea.
Well, they never did close.
Yeah, we never had a quarantine. The New Yorker. No, we were never quarantined. The New Yorker magazine had a page a couple days ago, or an article, which is with a video, I think it was, showing Seoul kind of like empty and shut down. But they were going to places, I'm certain, looking at it, it was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Or they were in Myeongdong.
They're in Myeongdong, right, But you go to Myeongdong at 7 in the morning, it's empty. Of course,
don't go to Myeongdong now. I just read an article. It's empty because no locals go to Myeongdong.
Right,
only tourists.
Right.
I love Myeongdong. Is that why? Because I'm a tourist?
Yeah.
Myeongdong's awesome. It's got that street market at night. I went there every night, Joe. It was delicious. And I remember having this argument with you last time on the podcast.
Did you get all your face masks?
Yeah, I did actually. And I got like 16 bottles of shampoo that I brought back to Australia in my suitcase, and 84 masks. And other stuff that is cool that only Koreans make, that it's really good stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, we've never been in quarantine. We're like semi-isolation is the best way to describe it.
Voluntary. I mean, mostly for the past 2 months, we've just been staying in our house and only going out for necessities.
Why weren't you in quarantine?
I don't know. That's
where do we start?
I'm not really.
This?
Yeah,
it's $1 million question.
Well, I think
there were talks about it at the very beginning, and what we did was, by the time the first case came, the President Moon Jae-in had just created this task force. He had a meeting at Seoul Station, made this task force. It said, quickly come up with a test. We'll grease the wheels over at the Food and Drug Council so we can approve it. And then just went out and heavily tested everyone. It made it cheap to almost well, if you tested positive, the government paid for it. Created all these innovative ways to test people, the drive-through testing and what I call the Doctor Who box testing, the TARDIS testing, and so now we know where all the cases are, who all infected. On top of that, we have contact tracing, so that each person that tests positive, they go through their phone records. I mean, with permission, but they go through their phone records, or they ask them, where have you been? And then they tell every place that they had been that they were there. They scrub down if it's like a Paris baguette or something, they scrub it down. They put in the person's path online. They don't name who the person is, but they just say the path that they went on, so that other people who were at those places at the same time, they will go get tested. And it just goes on and on. So it's more like, it's kind of like you're in a dark cave and this is shining a light on all the snakes and spiders. So it's easier to avoid the snakes and spiders if you have a light on and you see where they are. And that's how we did it. Though. That's how we did it. Yeah, well, we're sitting here and our phones are like buzzing every 10 minutes, giving us updates. Oh, someone was found positive in your area. It was happening so much. Now it's barely done. And then I think just someone is just bored at the local government emergency alert, because then they'll say something like, "Hey, make sure to call your mom today."
Yeah, yeah, that was surprising. Yeah, we were getting those updates pretty daily around. Was it around 7 o'clock, Joe? 7, 8 o'clock, we were getting.
Yeah, I had to turn everything off, man. It was killing me. Yeah,
and then we woke up one morning, and essentially it said, "Don't forget the people who are potentially very lonely. They might be living alone. They're isolating." And then the last line was essentially, "Don't forget to call your mom." So a little bit different than that, but that was the nuance of that particular message. So yeah, the ones I get today, or I've been getting this week. Was be careful of forest fires in my area.
Forest fires. Oh, you're getting that. We're getting strong winds.
Yeah.
Wind warning.
Yeah. We had damage to our window on Saturday. The winds were so strong here.
Yeah, we have a very strong, very, very active emergency alert system. We've gone from not caring about this stuff to being overly sensitive about it. Mm-hmm. Pre-Seawall, post-Seawall. I think, was it? No, it wasn't the Seawall. It was the Imyeonsan landslide.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 2011 that started this.
That's right. Yeah. That was during the rainy season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
so are you guys in two different parts of Seoul, are you?
We're on the outskirts.
Yeah, neither of us live in Seoul.
And both of you don't live in the same kind of region or area?
No. We live in the same province, but not. That's about it. We're quite a distance away from each other.
He's a 45-minute drive for me.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really far, guys. And you know how you said that there hasn't really ever been a quarantine? Does that mean Koreans have still been able to travel domestically?
Domestically, yes.
Yes.
But not out of the country.
We're recording this right at the cusp of Golden Weekend. We have a bunch of holidays coming up, and the government is a little nervous of cluster infections and of a second wave after this. But I don't know. I mean, of course, we're all nervous about it. But we also recently had an election, the first democracy to have an election since it started. Well, that's what democracy does. They have elections. And yet has not had one positive test that was a result of elections.
Yeah, and that was 2 weeks ago now.
So have you guys noticed that? So there's been a drop in COVID-19 infection rates or in Korea?
Seriously, a massive drop. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think the majority are imported.
Yeah.
Import. So they're still allowing people in.
Yeah, but any person, no matter where they're from, whether they're Korean or not, has to be quarantined for 14 days.
Okay.
So that's pretty much killing the tour. This is pretty much killing the tourism industry, the inbound tourism industry.
It's dead. The tourism
dead.
industry's dead.
It's dead for now.
It is dead.
Dead
for now.
But now that South Korea is getting a hang on this, is now able to focus on helping other countries get past this.
That's a good sign.
So
That's
I've heard about Korea is sending aid down to other countries that are just about to get hit and trying to help them through. Because it's we're kind of isolated until everyone else gets back on track. Yeah.
Are you guys sending any help to North Korea, or have you in the past?
I think didn't that just start? Because that fell under sanctions. It would have gone against sanctions. But I think that was wasn't Joe. That was just recently. Maybe was it last week? They recently said, "Fine, we can send any help that they needed." South Korea could.
It might have gone through my feed, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, don't quote me on that either. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, but supposedly North Korea hasn't had a case.
Yeah. So
they're totally free of COVID-19. They're doing really well.
Yeah, but there's a mass grave site that was detected by satellite in the Northeast. Yeah.
Is it near where Kim Jong Un's train is located?
Well, we don't know if it's his train or his yacht. Yeah.
That's the one, Wonsan or whatever.
Yeah, that's a resort area. No, I don't think that. Okay. No, I think it's in the farther northeast.
Interesting to see what will happen there.
Yeah. Just back quick to what you were saying about quarantine here. The only thing that really maybe could be categorized as a quarantine was companies working from home. A lot of companies closed their offices, and for just about a month, a lot of people were working from home.
True, because one of our big clusters came from a call center with an open floor office plane with cubicles.
Mm-hmm.
So that since then, I would say there's been more emphasis on trying to work from home.
Yeah, like I know people who work at big offices, SK Innovation, SK Mobile, and GS Construction, Engineering and Construction, and all of those offices shut down. Actually, I was in an office, in the GS Engineering Construction office, in that same office building, the day that people returned from Daegu, which is where Korea's epicenter of infections is, and someone had been in contact with patient 31, who is the super spreader, the one who pretty much started the explosion of infections in Daegu. That guy had been in the same room with her 2 days before I was in the same building with him. So I was notified, and I was asked to. So he was tested, and then I was asked to stay home until his test results came back, and they came back negative. So,
jeez, you're lucky.
Several weeks ago now.
Yeah, I remember that now. Gosh, yeah, that was a tense time.
Yeah. So, I came home.
Intense.
Yeah, I came home. I have 2 floors to my house, so I just stayed on the second floor. We wouldn't let my daughter come up, and I slept up here. Didn't connect with my family at all until the guy's results came back, test results.
Wow. Okay, so this podcast is now going to be called Patient 31, the episode. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Patient 31.
Yeah, should have her on.
I was thinking of it cool. Yeah, we should have him on, have a 4-way chat.
There you go.
No. Has the president of Korea or any of, the parties, news networks, or so forth, given any of the residents of Seoul any idea when they believe the sanctions will be lifted, or when things will kind of get back to a more normal period?
After this weekend.
Yeah.
So after this weekend.
Yeah, there's already easing social distancing. Or there's going to be. They're telling us they're telling businesses how to open. They say it's the next stage. Not everything is going to be lifted. It's just the next stage. and they're just waiting to see what happens after this holiday, and then if that goes well, yeah, and so this is what's likely going to happen. They're going to wait 2 weeks if we're still keeping it under 15 new cases a day, which we've been way under that. Opening schools back up again.
Good. Well, different states of Australia have different ideas on when they're going to reopen schools and reopen cafes or even allow people to hang out. But I think there's a few states in Australia that are already allowing groups of 10 to be together and family and friends to a point be together and stuff. But yeah.
Surprising. Restaurants generally have not gone down. I mean, some have closed. I noticed that last time when I was doing the tour last weekend. I did notice some restaurants that should have been open were not open on a Saturday night. But some of my favorite places, Tom's Pizza was open the entire time. And last time I went there was right when it was starting to blow up in late February. And that's back when I wasn't even taking it. I was taking it sort of seriously, but not that seriously. Should have been taking it more seriously. But when I walked in, Leo, Tom's Italian assistant, came by and squirted hand sanitizer on me. Nice to be squirted
all over you.
Yeah, but he was doing that for everyone. He just goes.
So he's just squirting people.
It felt like going to mass. You know,
Yeah.
it felt like the holy hand sanitizer. And but they were very cautious about. Everyone was taking precautions. I had done a barbecue tour, the last barbecue tour I did, and all the venues they were wearing masks and they were requiring hand sanitizer to anyone who walked in and walked out.
And was he like, "Hey, Joe, my favorite guy"? Here,
God, you sound just like him.
Hey, Joe, I want to squirt you. Please let me. It's good. You'll be sanitized from my squirt.
But it was funny how they were. I mean, during the height of it, I think they got hit some in early March when we were in the height of it, and then when things were just starting to get control. I mean, we had that one cluster in Deju, and then we got another big boom at that call center in southwestern Seoul. But then. Getting there, people wearing masks. I mean, less people wearing masks than they used to, but in Seoul, we wear masks a lot this time of year anyway because of the air pollution at this time of year.
But that really should be down, isn't it?
That's the thing. It was down until China started getting control, until their cases started going down.
God, you gotta love China.
Clean skies.
Jeez.
I'll check the air quality right now. See what it's like right now. Yeah, we kind of had, it was kind of going up and down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fluctuating this past week. Yeah.
Where I am right now, it's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, what is it now? Where you are?
The AQI is 50, and that's right at the cusp of good air quality and moderate.
And I guess Joe would be very similar.
Yeah, mine is yellow. That might be easier to say. Mine is yellow.
Joe lives closer to an airport, so.
Okay, so it's going to be yellow, and then it's going to be orange on Friday.
Okay, so is orange worse than yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes up to black.
You get to red.
Then black.
Oh, does it?
When it gets really bad.
It looks like blood, dark maroon red. Yeah,
that would be cooler than black, because black's just so ugly as a color.
Oh, it's
I don't
death.
like black as a color. Yeah, it's death. No, we'll be talking about death later.
No, actually, we have some green spots near us, so it's not so bad right now. No, it's not so bad. I mean, China's bad again. I'm looking at it. We have China on here. Purple.
Yeah.
It gets really bad. Mine turns purple.
But don't forget too that China is not to blame for most of Korea's air pollution. And a new study came out. Another one finally came out that by the government this time. And actually, several of them came from the government, just indicating quite clearly the evidence points that China is not the main culprit.
Yeah.
How can they be,
I
though?
was saying that China wasn't the main culprit, and then we had those really clean skies, and then when China started getting back underway, we started getting dirty air again.
Well,
so the clouds are moving across Korea from China, obviously.
Yeah, they blow east.
the westerlies. Yeah, the westerlies. Yeah.
I'd rather
The
them.
westerlies, yeah.
I'd rather them blow that way than the other way, because then we'd be getting radiation.
From Japan.
Oh. Would you get radiation from Japan if the wind blows differently?
Well, we would have after the nuclear
Fukushima
thing.
Isn't that all under control now, though?
Yeah, but we still would have gotten a gust from it back then.
Back then.
Like way back in the day.
I'm talking about now, though.
No, I don't think so.
Now we just worry about the COVID-19 from Japan.
Worry about that blown
You don't
over.
have to worry. Well, talking about COVID-19, Japan, some smoke, radiation, and stuff like that. How's our good mate Kim Jong Un going? I've heard a lot of news saying he may be dead. So what's that mean for North Korea, do you think, fellas?
What does it mean for North Korea? Well, I think if he's
what
dead,
does it mean?
I don't think.
Yeah.
he's dead.
Do you say you do or you don't?
I don't.
You don't. I don't think. I don't think
I'm
he's
going
dead.
down.
Either.
I'm just going. I'm actually putting my stamp down, and I'm saying, I'm putting down my
saying he's
bet,
dead.
and I'm saying he's not.
I don't think
he's dead.
I'm saying he's in hiding because of COVID-19. Also, he might have had that operation, and he's just recovering.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead
a
either.
poll.
I don't
Starting
think
a
he's
poll.
dead.
Yeah, I'm going to start a poll on Twitter. Is Kim Jong Un dead? And you two will be involved, as well as his sister Kim Jong Jul or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
His sister.
the sources that were saying he's dead, I wasn't really sure. Those sources, like, how would they know? I was really not sure about those sources. How would anyone know? I mean, just because, I don't know. It sounds like really. Oh, okay. I'm going to get a little sexist. It sounds like overly concerned girlfriend, and because you're not texting all the time, they think that you're cheating on them, or something's wrong. Yeah,
because it's true. He's cheating on me again.
With China.
They think, we haven't heard from him in a while, and they think, he didn't show up for this big event recently, but
the parade.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird that he doesn't show up to his parade that he loves being,
he's done this before.
Seen it? I know, but last time something like that happened, I think his dad, Kim Jong Il, had a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
so he was really sick. So that's why we think that.
It seems pretty. It seems that Kim Jong Un did have an operation recently, so he could just be recovering.
Yeah, could just be recovering and hiding from COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't they just admit it then, that he is recovering, and show some pictures? I don't know.
He would seem weak.
Yeah, the chances could be that the North Koreans don't even know he had any kind of surgery. And
he had surgery for a heart issue.
Yeah, they might have told the North Koreans that he did the surgery on himself. Maintain the cult of personality around that family. The Kim.
So he may have done the surgery on himself. Sorry, Shawn, you were cutting up when you said that stuff, so that's why I repeated that.
Oh, I see. No, I was just joking. Where I think it's possible that the North Koreans don't even know he had surgery, or if they did, then I made the joke that maybe
true.
Yeah, they told, and it's like, he did the surgery on himself, just maintaining that the myth around the Kim dynasty.
But it's true though. He's a triple gold medal winner in freestyle.
That's true. He invented freestyle. That's why
he invented it. Yeah, and he's won the Formula One GP so many times. He's a very, very smart guy.
He invented the car.
So, guys, you both started a new podcast. It's a Patreon as well, the Dark Side of Seoul podcast, which is really cool. I've heard all the episodes so far, and they're really good. They're really, really good, fellas.
Thank you.
No worries. So can you both tell me a little bit more about your Patreon campaign and the Dark Side of Seoul podcast and why you decided to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been something we've been wanting to do for a while anyway, and us being stuck at home gave us the impetus to, hey, let's get this going.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah, this extra time has given us so many opportunities to do things that we've been wanting to do. This was on the list. We came up with the idea. We were wanting to do the podcast a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we discussed more about what type of content do we have enough to do a podcast. And once we sat down and started coming up with ideas for shows, we went, oh my goodness, we have years and years and years worth of content.
Easily, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And why did you think that you run a Patreon campaign with it?
Because we want to justify to our wives what we're doing.
Make a bit of money while we're doing it. Yeah.
I can totally understand that, trying to make some money on the side, because obviously you might be losing money from not being able to do the tours every night and so forth.
Right.
So I totally get that.
It's more about expanding our brand. Because Dark Side is not just tours now. We're doing comic books and we're venturing into podcasting. We're creating something much larger than the tours. The tours are our nugget, our seed, and we're just sprouting all these other fun things. Because we do have a lot of our listeners are people who have been on our tours, and they want more. They just want more stuff, and we can't pack all this stuff in a single tour. So the tour is kind of used as a way of whetting appetites and getting people interested in Korean history and folklore, and so the podcast is to give them more.
Well, I think you guys are achieving that.
It's fun. It's been so much fun, and it's been a good outlet for us too. I mean, I consider myself maybe a lay historian of Korean history. I'm not an academic. I just do it. I do it for fun. I mean, I did study it in school, but I never wrote a thesis on Korean history. But it's fun. It's really a page turner, and so I like finding a way because I read these books. I'm so into Korean history, and I read these books, and I want to share what I read, because some of the stuff is like, oh my God, it's like Game of Thrones in there. It's just, yeah. Okay, like there's this one book I'm reading now on the Chosun Dynasty. It's written by two Korean scholars. Going through the first 200 years, barely anyone dies a natural death.
Oh, wow. What do they die of?
Usually dismemberment.
Oh, okay. Back in the day.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of beheading back then as well.
That would be the last part to go. It's really gruesome.
Hands, feet, head.
Yeah. They just tie
water torture.
Tie each limb to a horse and
Oh, I think I heard that on one of the episodes that you guys spoke about that. Is that true?
Yeah, we did an episode on we did what was it? Gruesome deaths or tragic deaths?
Tragic deaths. We did a little bit. Yeah. I did mention one.
That was awesome. I love that. So anyone listening now,
not for him, it was.
Make sure you listen to Dark Side of Seoul podcast, because these guys got the best stories. It's like stories, sitting down and having an old man read to you, an old smelly man with his shoes off read to you about these really fun stories. Is that the idea you guys are going for?
I think that's what I'm going for with my audio series, Weird Tales from Korean Lore, which is part of the Patreon. But I don't know if that's what we're going for with the podcast. Our most recent episode was pretty deep and a bit dark, and not released yet, about missing persons. So yeah, we're not. We're not. We're it's storytelling, but we're just two guys kind of talking about stuff that we love talking about.
That's exactly it. And connecting with everyone,
with each other,
and
with
with
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's nice. So Shawn, and with the Weird Tales of Korean Law,
Yeah.
is that on Spotify? Can I find that on Spotify, or is it only for the Patreons?
Yeah, no, it's there's 4 episodes. Well, there's 1 episode a week, and the first episode every month is public, but it's only released on the Patreon.
Okay, that's why I can't find it.
Yeah, but it's public. If you go to our Patreon page, just go to Patreon and search Dark Side of Seoul.
Yeah.
You'll find you can see the public posts. So
you'll get access at the lowest tier too, just $5 a month. You get access.
Yes.
To that.
Yep.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the lowest tier gets you 2 a month, and then we have 3 tiers. The second tier gets you 3 episodes a month, and then the last tier gets you 4 episodes a month.
And we get lots of stuff. We're selling it, but you get more stuff. The second tier, you also get some music from local artists that also does our theme song. And then the top tier, you get a little horror themed treat gift sent to you every month. And once a month, we do a hangout. On Zoom with all of our top tier patrons. We just hang out on a Friday night and just talk.
Yeah, and that was fun. We just did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we did it. It was really fun.
Oh, that's good. That would have been fun as. I might have to do this Patreon thing because I've never done it yet, and I said I was going to do it for someone else as well and join his Patreon, but I never got around to doing it.
Yeah, now I got in the bug. It's like I'm looking to see other people I can patronize. Is that the word?
Become a patron for patronize.
I think you've already patronized the the North of Korea already.
Because we were researching this trying to figure out, okay, well, how are other people doing this? And we saw it, and I was like, wow, I'd pay for that. I think I want that. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, I want to see if people would pay for my podcast. That'd be interesting
Try it out.
To know.
Yeah, if you have a lot of other content.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. See, that's a thing. I don't have any other content.
Yeah, you're giving more stuff. You're giving more subscriptions. Yeah, I mean, we have another. I wanted to revive another option where my other podcast, the Soul Podcast, we used to have a thing of buy us a beer, and it was just you just click a button and you just donate money to the podcast.
Okay,
might still revive that because some people just want to just donate money. They don't want to get anything or have to do a monthly thing. Want to have that as an option too. Just any way we can support because the more supporters we have, the more we're able to do, the more stuff we're able to put out. That's what it is. Because we justify to our wives why we're doing it.
Well, that too. You guys should make bobblehead toys of both of you. What? I'd buy one each. I'd get a Shawn and Joe and put it on my desk so I'd look at you guys and flick your heads.
My body shape, I'd be more of a bobble bottom.
A bubble butt.
Like one of those Aloha Girl dashboard.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Well, driving in Korea, you could have yourself set up and all we see is your butt.
There you go. Yeah,
bubble butt.
Yeah.
So, talking about bubble butts, I was recently listening to the Dark Side of Seoul podcast, and a few topics did prick my ears. So, one was the Hammer serial killer, otherwise known as the Rainy Thursday Killer or the Raincoat Killer. So, I found this really, really cool and interesting. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about this gruesome sounding fella that kills people in the wet outside? Or does he kill at night as well? Or during the day? Or did he? And is he still alive? What's going on with that bloke?
A lot to unpack from
that. Sorry, bubble.
Yeah, he did strike at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're talking about
Yu Young Chol.
Yu Young Chol. Okay.
Yeah.
Yu Young Cho?
Yu Young Chol.
Yu Young Cho.
That's a hard thing to pronounce.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, so his whether he killed people in the rain and whatnot, we don't actually know. If he did, I doubt that he would have killed all of his victims in the Rain.
Gosh, no, come on, stop saying In the Rain. You get this 80s song in my head. I saw you and him killing in the rain.
Killing in the Rain. That should be his. That's the theme song now for when we do our episode on you, Young Chell. If we do a longer episode on him,
Killing in the Rain.
Sorry, yeah. What were the other questions? He is still alive. He's in jail.
So he was caught.
Oh yeah. He was caught. He was caught in
2003 is what I got, but you said 2004.
It's 2004. He was caught in the summer of 2004.
How long did he kill for, and how many people did he kill?
Well, he was
approximately.
Yeah, that we know. He was active, say like autumn 2003 until around summer 2004. And I was in Korea at the time, and I remember this pretty clearly. Right. He killed 20, I'm trying to think. I think he was, he killed 20 people, but he was convicted for 19. The 20th case was thrown out on a technicality. And that was really strange because his 20th victim had nothing was not part of his MO. He was killing mostly elderly rich people, mostly men and prostitutes. But his 20th victim was just a clerk. She worked in a clothing store somewhere in Seoul. And
did she just trip on his knife or something?
Well, yeah, right. It's possible that he may have thought that she was a prostitute. So he decided to kill her. And but anyway, he didn't, and he ended up not getting charged for that murder. That case got thrown out. And when the court made its decision and he came out of the courthouse, that young woman's mother attacked him with an umbrella. The police had to hold her back. So,
jeez, yeah, I've been attacked by an umbrella before. It's not good.
Yeah, but some of the key things I think about him. He had been in jail before, and this is one thing I really remember at the time. He had been in jail for like theft when he was really young. He was like a teenager. So minor things. Maybe he wasn't in jail for theft, but he was charged for theft. Child pornography at some point in the 90s. But the key thing, before he started killing and cannibalizing people, he was in jail for sexually abusing a child.
Jeez.
And I remember when this came out, that his jail term, if I'm remembering right, I have to go back and read through his case files again. But as I remember, he was only in jail for about 3 years for that. And a little less than 3 years, because that was in 2000, the year I arrived in Korea. And then he got out of jail, and that's when he started murdering. So if he was in jail for a proper amount of time, if justice was actually served for that little kid that he sexually abused, and I think he should have been in jail for the rest of his life for that crime. If he was given a proper jail sentence, he would have killed no one. So Koreans were really angry at that time. Yeah, when they found out. And that really kind of poked holes into the Korean justice system. It kind of revealed that the Korean justice system was an old boys club. So where like a judge being a man would see a defendant who's a man, and he's like, he was drunk. Boys will be boys. Maintaining the patriarchy in favor of a criminal instead of supporting victims. So the Yu Young-chul case really brought all this kind of thing to light. Now, the justice system didn't get better immediately, but it started a lot of the protests against it. And that was around 2004.
And obviously, he was put straight into prison, and there's no death sentence penalty in South Korea.
No, there is, but it's inactive. So he was given the death penalty.
Can it be activated?
Yeah, but it has to go through a lot of different steps, I suppose. I'm not sure if the president can just make that decision. I think No Mu-hyun was the president who kind of froze it. He put it on hold. And that would have been, geez, when was he president, Joe? 2006, 2007?
Joe's fallen asleep.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to remember
Where
everything.
have you been?
It was 2012 was when Park Geun-hye was elected. 2007 was yeah.
2003 or 2003, 2004.
He was president when I came here. Yeah.
Okay.
Then Lee Myung-bak was 2007, 2008. Yeah, he came into power. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure he was the president. No Mu-hyun, who's also passed away, has since passed away. I think he was the president who kind of put it on hold, put the death sentence on hold. So I don't know what process they would have to go through to reenact it, to reactivate it.
It's pretty barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they never have to reenact or yeah, you know what I mean.
Reactivate it, yeah.
Reactivate it, yeah. It's very sad, but interesting story about that fellow. I remember, the podcast, and I was just captivated about it. Just thought, I need to ask him a few more questions. I don't know if I've asked you all the questions I need to ask you guys, but you've probably said everything that I needed to know. Yeah,
like Joe and I have been chatting now and again, saying that we will probably sit down and we'll hammer out details and do a full episode of the Dark Side of Seoul podcast just on him.
Yeah, it might be a multi-episode.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that, guys. Just send it straight to me. Yeah, so you know what I mean. Thanks for listening to part 1 of the podcast with Shawn and Joe from the Dark Side of Seoul podcast. Make sure to listen to part 2 in a fortnight's time when we discuss some scary things that have happened on their ghost tours, and they both tell me their scariest ghost stories, so be sure to not miss that episode. As always, you can always follow me on the Travelman Podcast on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Travelman Podcast. Twitter is Travelman Pod. Remember the websites, www.travelmanpodcast.com, and email is travelmanpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you guys think of my podcast. Please reach out to me. It would be fantastic to hear from you, and you might get something coming your way if you do contact me. So thanks a lot for listening. Take you off. Yep, recording there. Now start recording here. Okay, so we're recording now.
Okay.
Can both of you guys just say something? I just want to see your wave bars.
Yeah, you want to look at my red?
How's it go? See my bars? Look at my bars.
Yeah, Yeah, your bars are very tasty. Very tasty bars.
Oh, this is the bars. Oh, I wasn't even
The
looking
bars.
at that. I'm on
Yeah.
bars
Yeah.
now.
My bars.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
why are my bars smaller than your bars?
Yeah, just slightly, but my bars are the smallest.
That's just genetics, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's nothing
I've
to
always
do about
been
it.
the smallest out of all my family.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm the teeny guy.
You're a tall
I'm
guy
a
though.
teeny guy.
From what I remember.
About 6 foot.
Oh man, I'm just gonna have to stop burping.
But I'm not that tall, really. Superman height, probably.
Right.
Guys.
And I'm drinking whiskey. So
Grunt.
you hear
Yeah,
sleeping.
he's drinking whiskey. Don't do that to me.
This is the pre-show, and I'm drinking water.
Me too.
It's
Not
really
me.
cool because it's in a copper cup.
Mine's my whiskey's in a Lord of the Rings glass.
Oh, well, that's really, really nerdy of you.
Yeah, and it's got the
This is
the
a
inscription. Well, it has the inscription that's on the ring, the one ring.
Oh, yeah?
And then when the cup gets cold, that turns red, and you can read it.
Oh, that's cool as. I like that. And Joe, what's your cup?
I'm just drinking some sparkling water.
Yeah? Are you also another meter away from your mic again, Joe?
Yeah, okay, I'll point it straight at me. Okay.
You're so naughty. Well, considering I think Joe's naughty, you sounded like...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? You just sounded like a robot just before Joe.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, it would have been your wife. Oh, da, 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 da. So that was
Listen,
quite funny.
Yeah, I didn't.
So-
I didn't
go
hear
on.
that on my end.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, my end, I didn't hear
on
it.
my end.
Well, I don't hear myself on my end.
You
Right,
guys
right.
are strange.